way you think determines how you act, and the way you act determines how successful you are and what goals you achieve. So what determines the way you think? Well, it gets very interesting here, because the first thing is what's meant by the term intelligence, because obviously intelligence and ability underpin how you think and how successful you are. And when you look into that, there's a lot to it. So the first thing is that most experts are now of the opinion that there's some underpinning factor called G, after a bloke called Spearman who identified it, which seems to underpin intelligence. Now, what that's determined by is another matter: nature, nurture, all sorts of other factors. Moving beyond that, it seems to come out in two different ways. So there's what's called fluid intelligence. Now, fluid is basically the ability to interpret new data, solve problems, just make sense of types of factors that you haven't come across before, versus crystallized. And crystallized intelligence is the ability to sort of learn stuff and then recall it. So this concentrates on sort of knowledge, if you like, and this concentrates on what you could term as sort of know-how and the ability to think on your feet. That translates, so the two of those then translates into multiple types of, well, they're not types of intelligence, because this G thing is sort of the basic underlying intelligence. But there's 8 sort of ways in which this intelligence manifests itself, and there might be more. So it could be numerical, it could be verbal reasoning. They're the ones that the formal education systems seem to be able to assess most readily. But there's also things like artistic ability, creative ability, musical ability, physical coordination ability, the ability to analyze yourself, the ability to analyze others, interpersonal skills. So there's lots of different ways, manual skills, there's lots of different spatial awareness, there's lots of different ways in which this intelligence can sort of translate itself out there, and they're all equally valid. And then you get to something that's even more interesting, and this really sort of resonated with me, particularly with things that happen on social media and with certain controversial issues of the moment, which people take strong views on. Because it's been shown that the more knowledgeable you are and the better you are at something, the less certain you tend to be, because you're probably aware of all the things you don't know, and you're aware of all the things that other people might know that know more than you. So it tends to be that if you're really good or knowledgeable at something, you tend to suffer from this thing called imposter syndrome, because you're not certain that you're the expert that everyone else thinks you are. On the other hand, if you don't know much about something, you tend to get more opinionated and you're more certain about what you do know. And this has been shown in research. So they showed that people who do badly in tests are more convinced they've done well than people who do well in tests. And the people who do well in tests are doubtful as to how well they've done. So you can see how this translates on social media in some of the sort of arguments of the day, and I won't get too controversial here, but they tend to be dominated by the opinionated who know less than the experts who actually know more but aren't as forceful in their views. And the interesting thing psychologically is that the more certain you come across as being, the more people believe you. So these people, they get believed more than these people, even though these people know more. So it seems to be that the better your ability, the more likely it is that you won't reach the top posts of influence, if you like. So it's a fascinating area. It's all covered in a book I was reading, or still reading, called The Idiot Brain by Dean Burnett, which is brilliant. And it goes into so much sort of detail and explains the psychology behind a lot of these issues. So I've put this out. It's sort of self-indulgent, really. I just think it's a really interesting area. It does underpin performance. However, in itself, it's really fascinating as well. I'd welcome any sort of views or additions or observations to the conversation. And I hope you found that interesting. If you want to know how you can save a fortune on your marketing costs by having all of your software needs and programs under one heading, that's where they all speak to each other, then have a look at world-wide-marketing oblique home. So Bernard.worldwide marketing with hyphens in between, and then /home. Right, I didn't say that too well, but there you go. Okay, thanks very much for watching. I hope you found that interesting. So your thoughts determine your actions determine your success or you're achieving your goals. However, what underpins your thoughts is a fascinating area all of itself. Oh, one other thing I was going to mention, by the way, is that this intelligence thing, they found out that this is to do with how the different parts of the brain communicate with each other, i.e. how efficiently they do, rather than how brilliant each individual part of the brain is in and of itself. So it's to do with how smoothly the whole system communicates within there. So it's your white matter rather than your grey matter. But it's all covered in The Idiot Brain by Dean Burnett. Hope you found it interesting. I think it's a fascinating area. Thanks very much for watching today.
How much are you paying for your marketing and sales software? As examples, you could be paying separately for all of these items. So CRM and pipeline management, $99 a month. Sales funnels unlimited, $297 per month. Website builder, $29 a month. Surveys and forms, $49. Email marketing, $99 a month. Two-way SMS marketing, $99. Booking appointments, $29 a month. Workflow automation, $169 a month. Selling courses and products online, $159 a month. Tracking calls, call tracking, $95. Reputation management, $299. Tracking and analytics, $49. All of those can add up to a lot of money. What if you could get all of that in one integrated package where everything talks to each other? So, there's no compatibility issues, and you could get all of that for $97 a month. In fact, you could actually get it for just over $80 a month if you do it the right way. Now, if you want to find out how you could have all of these software packages, if you like, under one heading, integrated, all talking to each other, so that you don't have to have more than one thing to worry about and to learn to use, then please contact me. Either leave a message in response to this post or just email me, bernard@baltimorebc.co.uk. I look forward to hearing from you.